Welcome back. The National Capital District Commission has moved to empower the wives of United Church pastors in the Motu Koitabu electorate. NCDC Commissioner and Women's Representative for Motu Koitabu West electorate, Kilawin Owala, presented 17 electric sewing machines to the women in her electorate. The presentation took place yesterday. Bradley Gregory with this report.
A new mission house was opened on Saturday last week for a United Church pastor in the Gabi sub-congregation in Hanuabada. Yesterday, it was blessed with a washing machine and a sewing machine. Gifts from NCDC Commissioner and Women's Representative for Motu Koitabu West Electorate, Kilawin Owala.
Since the minister's wives, we don't work for money, but we get things from our church members. When they give us, then when they help us, we do our work.
The sewing machine is amongst 16 others which are given to all United Church pastor wives in the Motu Koitabu West Electorate. Its cost estimated to be 18,000 kina from the electorate's slush funds.
They really need the sewing machines because when these activities come on, they run around to other people and they ask them to sew their clothing and all that, stuff. So giving it to them, for their respective homes, it'll make it, more easier for them to sew their own clothing.
The gifts is a blessing in disguise for the mothers, wives of the pastors. It is recognition for the big work the church has done in spreading the word of God throughout the southern region. Bradley Gregory, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
The National Executive Council has appointed Mr. Ruel Yamuna as the Acting Managing Director of the Climate Change and Development Authority. The Cabinet decision was made on the 14th of July this year. In welcoming the appointment, Minister for Environment, Conservation and Climate Change, John Pundari, said Mr. Yamuna's appointment was timely given the vacancy in office since the lapse of Mr. Joe Pakana's acting appointment on the 30th of June this year. Turning overseas, helicopters dropped containers of toxic gas overnight in a town in Syria's Idlib province, a rescue service operating in rebel-held territory. Rahed Saleh, head of the Syrian Civil Defense Group, told Al Jazeera that 33 civilians, including 18 women and 10 children, were brought to a local hospital after the attack in the town of Sarakib.
These disturbing videos purport to show civilians in Idlib province suffering from exposure to toxic chemicals, struggling to breathe as they are being treated with oxygen. Members of the Syrian Civil Defense Group tell Al Jazeera the attack happened late Monday when regime helicopters dropped 2 barrel bombs full of what they suspect to be chlorine gas on the rebel-held town of Sarakib.
The 2 barrels fell on 2 residential areas in addition to many air raids. We've heard cries for help. We also saw very strange smoke in the skies. We as civil defence teams rushed to rescue the victims. We had more than 18 women and 10 children who were carried to makeshift hospitals. We've seen cases of suffocation and a very strange smell. This is a clear sign of the use of chemical weapons. It was clearly the use of a helicopter, and any small child can easily identify it was a helicopter belonging to the regime.
If true, this would not be the first time Sarakib has been targeted. According to activists, residents there came under similar attack in May 2015 from Syria's government and were exposed to chlorine gas. They say numerous children suffered as a result. Sarakib is located approximately 15 kilometers from where a Russian Mi-8 helicopter was shot down in Idlib province on Monday, killing all 5 people on board. While some opposition activists suggested the gas attack may have been in retaliation for the downing of the helicopter, the Kremlin rejected reports that the chemical attack had happened and said they were full of false information. The Syrian government has so far not addressed the allegations. Both government and opposition forces have been accused of using chemical weapons in Syria's civil war in the past, while the Syrian government and their Russian backers have repeatedly accused rebel fighters of using chemical weapons. The US, the UK, and other Western governments have on many occasions said that the Syrian government is responsible for using chemical weapons.
NBC National News continues after the break. Stay with us.